One of the most awesome tools is a shot trainer. This is so simple yet so effective, because one of the things that's critical about learning proper technique is the ability to just duplicate that technique over and over and over and over again until you ingrain that into a habit. Now with archery, every time you pull that bow back, you're under a lot of load. So you're actually reducing the amount of overall reps you can get by pulling that bow, and you get tired versus having something that just allows you to go through the movements of either figuring out where your hand should be placed, or being in a full draw position with the shot trainer and finding your anchor position. And if you don't like it, you're not worried about that bow taking it away from you. It really is an awesome tool, and I can't express enough how important it is to have one of these, because to be honest, my best year ever as a professional archer came on a year where I wasn't able to practice as much when it wasn't a tournament. As soon as I came home, I had to make up hours at work, get my 40 in so I could travel again, and I would do that by using one of these while I had a headset on making cold calls at work. So the way this works is you're able to just simulate your hand position in the shot trainer. You're also able to simulate your anchor position, and you can take photos of yourself to say, okay, if I feel like this position feels good, take a picture, and the string will represent where that arrow is sitting on your face. So there's a ton of things that you can do, and again, you're not under that load of it wanting to take it away from you. So if you're making adjustments, you're not going to have an accident. So these things are awesome for a magnitude of reasons, and they couldn't be more simple to set up. When you get one, it's simply going to be wrapped up just like this in a bag, and when you take it out and you unwrap it, the only thing that you need to do is set this to your draw length, which is really easy, utilizing this small little adjustment piece right here. Super simple. So before you make your adjustment, let's just talk about where you want to be. So when I talk to people about proper archery technique, proper form, I talk about the T formation, which is the baseline of archery instruction and the baseline of proper technique. So if you're standing with your feet under your hips, hips under your shoulders, you raise your arms up from your side till your hands are shoulder level. And if you look towards where your target would be, bend your release hand in towards the center of your body, and then invert it for a handheld position. Well, this is perfect archery technique. This is perfect archery form. So what you're looking for is to get your shot trainer and put it in your front hand, and for right now, simply raise that bow arm up to where you're in a T formation. Your shoulder isn't high, it's not back. Your front arm isn't bent like this. Again, you're just relaxed, and you're just raising that bow arm towards the target. Your head's just gonna pivot towards the target, and all you really wanna do is adjust it to where this little loop where your release will be is gonna be at the corner of your mouth. So if it's too long, then all you really have to do is simply squeeze this button, take some of the slack out, and then pull the rest of that slack all the way through so that that knot is secure, just like that. And you've already shortened that up. Now for me, this is obviously too short now. So if I was in this position, it's too far in front of my face, so I'll just need to lengthen this out. So I'm going to move this a little bit. I'm going to pull that slack out so that that knot is fully secure. And then I'm just going to pull that plastic piece till it's at the bottom of the grip. And sometimes when you make the adjustment, this will be a little bit out of whack, but it's actually made to slide. So you can just slide this knot to where you have a perfectly straight line, and that loop is at the corner of your mouth. Now, just to give you a couple little practical things to also work on with your shot trainer other than making that adjustment, is the shot trainer is actually designed the way that it is for the handle for a reason, because one of the things that I teach is the proper hand position in the grip and not crossing this lifeline or turning your thumb too far up to where your hand goes across the saddle. What's nice about this shape is that if you try to go too deep into the grip, your hand actually hits that opposite side. So it does teach you to put that position right in the cradle of your thumb and to relax that hand back and to let the grip sit right on that pad of the thumb where it connects to the wrist. But you can still see that lifeline of your hand just on the inside of the grip. Again, if you cross over, that's improper technique. So it's really nice to have that cradle that just teaches you where your hand should sit within that. Now, one of the things you can do as well is at the top here where you have this little burnt knot, I actually utilize that as an imaginary up pin. So I can scan through the room and pick certain things to aim my pin at as I properly pull through a shot smoothly. Now, the shot trainer does work with really any type of release. A lot of questions on whether or not it'll work with the too smooth or a hinge release. And yeah, it will, 100%. Just keep in mind that anytime you have an open jaw release aid, like for example, this, or if you have a Silverback Plus or any other type of open jaw release, a back strap, all you really need to do is just get in the habit of putting your thumb right there on that hook so it doesn't fall off until you just have a little bit of tension on it. It's really easy. So at first it might be a little bit cumbersome, but if you just think of it like this, I'm going to put that loop on the hook, just going to hold my thumb there until I've got a little bit of pressure, and now I can focus on working on my technique to properly activate my shot regardless of the type of release. So if you've got a Silverback, this is a great tool for a Silverback because it'll teach you the importance of holding your safety down anytime you have tension on that string, because if you had let off your safety, obviously when you put tension on it, it's going to fire, just like if you were drawing your bow back without your safety. The other thing it'll teach you with a tension-based release is just how hard you can actually pull on this string to simulate your holding weight at full draw, because your holding weight really isn't that much. And if you're used to pulling a bow back with 70 pounds, with the shot trainer, you just don't have to have that kind of load, and you can really just work on finding that position where your anchor's set, you don't have too much tension, you can let off your safety and then pull through your shot. Obviously, if you have a knock to it, or if you have any other type of thumb release, it's going to be super easy to activate. From there, all you got to do is take your release aid, close it onto this loop, and you're able to work on many things. Work on the angle, work on rocker, again, work on front grip. So you can see whether or not you're twisting your grip, or if you look down the back of your shot trainer, if you're torquing your grip, you can see clearly that the string is not tracking down the center of the grip. So if you're torquing your grip left or right, you can see that you don't have that perfect alignment. Whereas if I raise up, aiming my top bead at you, I can see my string is tracking down the center. So I've got a nice relaxed grip position, and I can just focus on pulling until I get that surprise release. These things are unbelievable to travel with, to warm up before an event, to walk around and just get familiar with a new release in your hand without having to worry about any type of accidents. make sure you check out the shot trainers at knockonarchery.com.